me hear you sing. Let 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 me hear you sing.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, blurs of all ages, good evening, good morning, good afternoon. It is I, Navy Montel, your frosty bearded Blerdicorn here. Hopefully you guys are taking care of yourselves. Do what I tell you to always do. It always messes me up. There we go. Hopefully you're washing these, covering this, staying as far away as you need to, or as far as ways you need to, or as far away as you need to. Looking out for yourselves, your loved ones, and each other. Thank y'all so much for joining me. I know folks are going to be popping in here as soon as they can, but we're going to rock and roll with this. Today, I am beyond excited because I tell you what, lately, when you guys have the opportunity to talk with creators who are passionate and they just want to put their creations out there so people can appreciate it, there is nothing more beautiful than that. I have the opportunity to chat with the second team from the Midnight Showcase, sponsored by Midnight Comics. And let me tell you, they have been doing the thing. They have been doing, hold on, what is going on? Why am I? Y'all know the internet doesn't like people, right? Y'all know that, right? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take care of something real quick. There we go. All right. If it's a little choppy, I apologize. For some reason, social interwebs tends to be weird. There we go. There we go. See, sometimes you got to do some things to get rid of the lag and the fact that technology doesn't work for you. But I digress. Today, I have the opportunity to chat with Team Into the Abyss. These creative souls are one of the three teams that are associated with, as I said before, the Midnight Showcase, which is part of Midnight Comics. They are a friend of the show. They are a creative collective of writers, artists, and just a think tank. So last week I had the chance to chat with Team Chiroptera, which was a lot of fun. But this week I get to chat with Team Into the Abyss. Now, people wonder, why are you calling these teams? Because I'm naming them after the creations. Plain and simple. We're not going to get complicated with it. What's the point? Everybody's tired. It's Sunday. We're going to make it simple. Don't yell at me. Anyway, thank y'all so much for joining me today. If you're popping in for the first time, hello. My name is Montel. I am a YouTuber, Twitch streamer, podcaster. I'm on Instagram. I am affiliated with Roomful of Blerds, Blerd's Eye View, and also Blerd Station, as I will pop in here in a second. Let me get my words up here. I was supposed to have all this up prepared and everything, but bam. Blerd Station is an online streaming service platform that we're trying to work on getting up that is going to appeal and to uplift and encourage all Black creators of all genres, whether it's fiction, whether it's literature, whether it's artwork, is music, videos, movies, you name it. And we are seriously putting it out there. If you're interested, please go to Instagram, go to Facebook, go to all the platforms and support Blerd Station. This is no joke. If you're tired of the same entities giving up doing the same thing all the time, or y'all are tired of looking at Tubi all the time, I don't watch Tubi. As long as Fox, even if Fox didn't own it, Tubi, it's too insulting to Black creators out there. It's a platform, but what's a true platform that's going to take away from you what you created? Blerd Station doesn't do that. In fact, you'll also be rewarded as well as the people who support it. So come check out Blerd Station when you get the opportunity. I encourage it. Also, you wonder where I get these fancy headbands from? Why I look so good? They are from my friend Renita, who owns Believe It or Not. She is the only woman-owned, veteran-owned, Blerd-owned apparel business that I'm aware of. She makes everything by hand: headbands, bonnets, shirts, hoodies, the whole 9 yards. And she just got, oh my gosh, she's got a Gengar hoodie that is amazing. And I saw it when I went to our local anime con, NecoCon. It looks so good. She takes pride in what she does. If you want to support someone who literally creates everything by hand, go check out BelieveItOrNot.com. It is an online store. Also, go to her IG and hit Believe It or Not 1 KNOT, because some of y'all like leaving out letters. Y'all think you're smart, but you ain't. I'm just kidding. Please go support that. Also, remember Loot Crate, y'all? Y'all remember Loot Crate? How amazing it was that you get this random blind box where you could get all types of goodies on the inside. Yeah, I did that too for a while, but guess what? I discovered Otaku Noir, which is the only Blerd-owned blind box business out there, y'all, who takes creations from Black creators. We're talking, again, artists, writers, creatives as a whole, cosplayers, you name it. They are the ones who have been most consistently putting out cosplayers of colored calendars. And I was honored to be on the very first one. They put all these creations and they put it together in a blind box that you can subscribe to, or you can go to their website and you can pick up anything that you like this individual that's still available, because stuff gets picked up all the time. The merchandise flies, it flows, it disappears. People own it. I love it. It's great. So go to otakunoir.com if you want to be a part of subscription business, or if you want to pick something up, put in the promo code Navy Montel for 10% off. And I believe there's free shipping. I don't know. I think it's been a while, but I love it. There is no complaints about that whatsoever. Now, we got some other folks up in here. Hold on. What's going on, man? Black Spartan himself. Good morning, sir. How you doing, man? And of course, oh yeah, it was 12 p.m. This is here. Hey, Lizzie from Anime Inc. Arts. Her, along with Roomful of Birds and myself, we are having the opportunity to chat with these teams. So go to her page, go to Roomful of Blurs, and also come to Navy Montel. We are chatting them up. We are supporting their Kickstarter, their project. They're almost funded, y'all. They are almost funded. They are, I believe the last time I looked, they were like $500 short, and you still got a few days. You definitely want to be a part of that. So do not hesitate. Do not take for granted that, oh, it'll be there eventually. No, don't do that. We have creatives out there who are trying their best to put their work out there. They are creating something that they believe in, something that they feel that we as our folks would appreciate and definitely talk about and support. So why not support it? We have this problem now that people are not supporting these Black creators, these Blerd creators out here, because you're looking at what's popular and who has the most followers and all this other stuff. It means nothing if there's no soul in the creation, if there's no heart in what's been made, when pen to paper or charcoal or watercolor or sitting in front of a keyboard or picking up an instrument or anything like that. If there's no heart, no soul in it, it's just a creation. To me, as far as I'm concerned, that's AI. Something that's made without heart, without soul, without love, without passion. Come on, y'all. Come on. Y'all know how I roll. So yeah, Lizzie agrees. Lizzie definitely agrees. Lizzie is one of those main people that I know who stands behind what she creates. But anyway, let me come from here a second. The Midnight Comics Midnight Showcase. This is one of the most brilliant ventures I've seen in a while. Shout outs to Lloyd and Tasha for creating something like this. First of all, for Midnight Comics, if y'all haven't checked them out, go. Their library, their universe, beautiful. Just it's gorgeous. It's so in depth. It has so much. There's so much to embrace and to be a part of, and the fact they give other creators that opportunity as well. So that's why they created the Midnight Showcase, which is an internship where they have taken 3 teams of these collective artists, writers, storyboarders, colorists, inkists, letterists, and other ists I can think of, and they bring them together and they've created these 3. So we're going to chat with the second team, or at least hopefully. I wanted to get the whole team on here, but I know it's Sunday. People had a hard work week and they're tired, and I get it. So without any further ado, I'm going to bring in 2 of the members of the team. We're going to chop it up. We're going to bring in Josh and Brandon. What's going on, fellas?
What's good? What's going on?
How you doing, man? Good to see y'all. Thank you for coming on to my platform. Chat about this beautiful creation that you have here.
Thank you for having me. Honestly, I've been a fan of your show for like at least a year, maybe two now. So it's actually really awesome that it's a full circle that I actually get to be on the show. So it's pretty sweet.
The honor is all mine. And meeting Josh for the first time, man, dude, both of y'all, your work is amazing, y'all. I had a chance to look over Into the Abyss. I went, oh, another addiction. Great. That's all I need. I need another addiction. Why are y'all doing this to me? You see this?
That.
You see this pile I have back here, right? You see this, right?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. I don't always flaunt this out. Let me go a little bit, maybe a different perspective here. There you go. You see that?
Oh, that's wild.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
You got a lot to do.
Hi, my name is Montel, and I have a problem. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Thank you so much for coming on here. So do me a favor. We're going to start with Josh. Please introduce yourself to everyone in the audience.
Hi, I'm Josh Baldwin. I'm a freelance artist. I like to paint. I like to draw. I like to design. Kind of started my career with graphic design, tattoo design, things of that nature, and that upgraded to tabletop gaming and weapon design, which transitioned into comics and more weapon design and a lot of business logos, a lot of UI design, things like that, for a lot of local business needs. So that's pretty much me in a nutshell. I like to paint. I like to draw. I like stories. I like telling stories, things that are more compelling, instead of focusing on like what would the word be? Surface level conversations, like small talk as far as storytelling. I like to dive a little deeper, kind of like what me and Montel were talking about earlier. Instead of focusing on things that are, instead of making something that seemed like making it unnecessarily deep, just making a simple story that's strong, that has those deeper levels that can kind of resonate with the audience is kind of what I would like to do more of.
Okay. And he's right. We did chop it up. I was like, yeah, I can't wait to chop it up with more. Brandon, please.
My name's Brandon Morgan. I go by Brandon Manga. I'm originally I actually wanted to be a novel writer, and I realized the skills weren't quite there. So I dialed it back to short stories. And the thing is, I can't seem to create a short story. My stories go too long. So I said, okay, I'm gonna start watching videos. And I always liked drawing as a kid. So I said, okay, I'm gonna get back into drawing, which led me down to falling in love with it again. And now I'm trying to take those stories that I've created and one day bring them to the world.
I like that. I like that type of passion. So as I was telling them before we got on, that I'm beyond excited to have this opportunity to chat it up with them. And I believe y'all are going to be pretty busy with the circuit trying to promote this. I don't know if you have any other shows that you're supposed to be on, but if you are a content creator and you believe in creations of the blurred nature for up and coming and established artists and writers and things like that, go check out the Midnight Showcase. Go and reach out to Midnight Comics. Get these guys, get these ladies on your show, and let's get these properties in front of everyone's eyes, because they deserve to be. I've had a chance to look at two of them already, and I'm invested. Okay, yeah, I'm invested. I'll admit, I'll live on ramen for a while, but I don't care. It's worth having. It's worth having. Having these, I wouldn't mind putting these in my Blerd short box. Okay, so let's go. Okay, so fellas, I've been wanting to know this. How did y'all become a part of the Midnight Showcase? How did y'all become part of this?
As a freelance artist, I'm always looking for work, right? Because in today's age, you can't just wait for stuff to fall in your lap. So I reach out to a lot of businesses, a lot of studios, just to see, like, are you hiring freelancers? And if so, does my skill set and the things that I've created to kind of resonate with what you'd like to do in the future? And as a Black man, I like Black creators. I like Black content, especially companies like Midnight Comics that are creating like new stories that are compelling, but also have a focus on traditions. You could tell by the design of some of the heroes. Obviously, the characters are primarily Black, so it's like, oh, well, definitely I'll reach out to them. And I met Lloyd at DreamCon a few years ago, so they were already on my list to reach out. And at the time, they weren't necessarily hiring, to my knowledge, freelancers, but they were running the internship. And they said, kindly, like, well, hey, if you want to work with us, we're currently doing this internship. feel free to apply. I applied, got in, did the work for them that I did, which I was a concept artist for them for a few months. And then when we broke off into teams, I was blessed enough to be placed on with Brandon, Chad, and some of the other people that Josiah and Ronnie.
Okay. What about you, B?
Yeah, I just Instagram is actually my first social media. I was never really a big social media guy, so I was kind of out of the circle. And one of the people that I did follow was Midnight Comics, kind of similar to what Josh was saying. Black creators, Black owned, and it was something that I fell in love with, especially in the beginning of my story, as an artist. So one day, year after year kept passing by, and I'd never take the leap. And so I decided I'm just going to take that leap finally. I was actually following one of their Kickstarters that I'm not sure if it actually went through because I never received it in the mail, but it wasn't their Kickstarter. They were a collab with like a whole bunch of artists, and I think it had like 180 something pages with all these different creators. But I don't know if maybe my bank account was low at that time. I have no idea. Long story short, I didn't get the issue, but I still followed their work. And one day I saw an ad and I applied and I got in. So here I am.
Did you tell them you didn't get your book?
I didn't. They'll find out when they watch this. Yeah.
Oh no! Oh no! See, we're lacking communication already. See, okay.
I mean, I have gotten a few other issues. Like I did get the Tales from Midnight 1 and 2. I got a few other things, but that particular one wasn't their dedicated project. I think they were just. It was like a whole bunch of heroes from different universes in one big book. But yeah, that's yeah.
Okay, Lloyd, Tasha, it's your boy. Okay, it's Navy. All right, it's Martell. So I need you to do me a favor. I need you to hook B up, all right? Because this is an international project, you know what I'm saying? It's just crossing all lines of locale and latitude, longitude, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to need you to hook my man up, all right? Because he's out here working hard for the showcase, you know what I'm saying? All right, cool. You know what? Dial me up. You know what the deal is. Dial me up. You know what I'm saying? I got you. I don't normally talk like that. That's just weird. That is so weird. I got everyone laughing at me and say, "Oh Lord, just don't do that anymore." First of all, how does it feel to have created something like this? Because we're going to show images of the comic here in a second, and from the minute I opened the PDF, I was invested because I am a fan of true crime, and this really hit home as far as what I was doing. I love the character creation and stuff. So why this particular genre, though? I'm curious.
When I joined the team, to be honest with you, I was kind of a little late to joining the group chat. So I just knew that we were given the theme of a thriller. And I'm not sure how they actually got on the story of this particular, without giving away the theme of the story. Yeah, so I just kind of joined in and I was like, okay, horror it is, thriller it is.
Okay. So Josh, were you selected from the beginning and were you part of the selection process for this particular story?
Yeah, so me and Josiah, which his handle is let me get his handle.
Masuta J. Masuta
Thanks,
_J.
bro.
No worries. I just
Thank
don't
you.
know on the spelling. I think it's MIS UTA_J, I believe.
Yeah, that's it. But me and him were the only ones in the group talking, just kind of brainstorming of where we wanted the story to go. And like Brandon said, I can't really speak on it too much because it's like
It's a team thing.
It's tethered directly to like the story's main arc. So like I can't really say too much. If you want to know, go and read the book, support the Kickstarter. But yeah, so we were throwing ideas out there trying to see what, which one we liked. And then once the rest of the team kind of came in, we just kind of presented what we had already had. And we were talking for maybe a few days, maybe a week at that point, nothing too crazy. Yeah. And then we all report off of that. And then Brandon and Chad just snowballed it. And then before you know it, we had a solid outline. So yeah, to answer your question, I think that will be the answer.
Okay. I am sending an invitation to someone if they want to pop in. That would be great. Let's see. I don't know if they'll pop in, but we will see. If they do, we will extend that invitation because the more the merrier. Um, so I know we talked before. I know we're just going to try to jump into the comic, but I want to know about y'all. I want to know about y'all because y'all seem like cool kids. You know, y'all seem like kind of cats I'd be hanging out with. You know, talking all types of stuff. So, what are your main fandoms? Where does your passion lie as far as being a blerd? And you gonna sit here and tell me that you ain't, because then I'm gonna kick you out of the studio. And then you don't want me kicking out the studio. Don't lie. Don't lie, Craig.
Brandon, after you.
Yeah, I originally got started with Dragon Ball Z. You know, it was one of the only animes at that time. But what I loved about it was just the warrior spirit. Um, I always wanted to draw it, and I never could at that time in my life. But yeah, I fell in love with Dragon Ball Z. Over time, I guess you could say before that, if you want to go way back, it was actually Batman was my first real superhero that I loved, and Ninja Turtles. Both of those were just amazing to me. And if you actually look at them, they're still warriors. You know, they're trained ninjas. I love samurai type stuff. And then that led me to Dragon Ball Z. Again, warriors. From there, I guess now I just like shows like Death Note, Code Geass, Bleach, for example. Again, more samurai type stuff with the Bleach. You know, Afro samurai, all that good stuff. Yeah, just fell in love with it.
So in other words, you're gonna go for you can go for the hard hitting stuff. Since you mentioned Code Geass, I'm sitting there going, oh, okay, okay, you reaching into the bag of old school here. Okay, okay, sir. Okay. What about you, Jay?
I start so similar to Brandon. I started with Batman. I think that's common in America. You know, given he's great. You know, I really liked that he seemed to hold his own in a universe full of all these other, incredibly powerful people. In the first issue that I had, it was a graphic novel, the All-Star Batman and Robin by Jim Lee, Frank Miller, and who did the inks? Scott Williams did the inks, and it's not very critically acclaimed. A lot of people actually don't like it. I've been in many rooms where people actually ragged on it, and it wasn't a success really. There was supposed to be more, but they stopped it. But I loved it. It was my first real introduction to comics, and obviously, Jim. For those that don't know, Jim Lee is he draws a lot of detail, right? And so, if you know my work at all, I draw a lot of detail, and it comes directly from that. You know, if you kick somebody through a glass window, you see every shard of glass. You know, if someone's walking down the street, you see the newspaper, you see the steam, you see the cracks in the pavement, you see the gum on the sidewalk, you see all these things. And so the comic just opened my mind to one, that you could tell stories because Batman kicked a cop through a windshield, that you could tell like a story that was a little bit. I thought superheroes were just, the glory, the kind of archetypes of the Greek gods, not that they were fighting corruption or injustice on a street level. So one, that piqued my interest. Two, there's some characters that made some pretty crazy mistakes in the book, and then they had to deal with the consequences of those mistakes. One of them being Robin, which at that time was close to the age that I was, which was another point. And then three, that you could make money doing art, right? So at that point, I looked up how much Jim Lee was making a page, and I think at the time, now this is probably 2007 or 8 maybe, and I think it said he was making around like $600 to $800 per page, and that blew my mind at the time. Wow. I'm crunching numbers as a kid, like, wait a second, you know what I mean? Like, wow, wait a minute, like that Star Wars toy costs this much, so if I do this, then I could get all the Star Wars toys that I could, soar. So I started with Batman, and then I went from that directly to Watchmen, which is, especially being an American, it's very heavy, right? And focusing on that superheroes are still people, right? Yeah. They still come flawed out of the box. And just because you put on tights and a cape doesn't make you any better than, society's quote unquote lowest individual, right? Like, the lowest common denominator. Like, there's a quote that I like, is that your portfolio is only as good as your weakest piece. And I feel like Watchmen is kind of an embodiment of that because the team is so flawed. But yeah, so I went from that to, I think like most people, like I watched a lot of cartoons, Avatar, Last Airbender, all of the DC animated shows, pretty much anything on Toonami. And then from there, I was kind of late on the anime train, like real anime, but I love like Evangelion, Attack on Titan, Afro Samurai, what else? Ghost in the Shell. Like I love stuff that really pushes into the sci-fi and kind of focuses on that hard sci-fi, like the materials, the machine aspects, and puts thought and work. Oh, Akira! I gotta forget that. I love Akira. Like that's like my all-time. Like yeah,
I'm with you. I'm with you though. I'm with you.
yeah. You know, those kind of things I think transcend art and entertainment. I think they really touch the soul in a way. And obviously I think Brandon can attest to this because he's an artist. It's like if your influences steer you into a lifelong pursuit of creating, it's not entertainment. You know what I mean? It's something deeper than that. So yeah, to make my answer short, to cut it short, I would say I would primarily focus on Batman and Watchmen were my primary fandoms.
Okay. And you mentioned some classics though, especially when it comes to anime, especially with Akira, Ghost in the Shell. So you could have thrown in Vampire Hunter D. You could have thrown in City. You could have thrown in anything from Studio Ghibli. You could have thrown that in. But I feel that because we're always influenced by something phenomenal, something that just we look at it and go, oh, I wouldn't have thought of that. And I realize as an artist or even as a writer, you will take ideas from different people. Was there anyone that influenced y'all in your fandoms?
You know, I really love I'm terrible when it comes to saying the names of artists, you know. I just like the work really and truly. But the guy that created Vagabond, it's like literally my dream to draw like that. I'm working on issue 3 of the Visbing models, so like the 3-in-1s. I love that story. I love the art, and again, another samurai story. You know.
What about you, Josh? Because you got this smile on your face.
Well, no, I'm smiling because like samurai are like really cool. Like, you know, they're really cool. I think so. Ash Thorpe and Dan Levisi. If anyone's not familiar with that, I would Google Ash Thorpe and Dan Levisi, 2 separate people, digital artists. Dan Levisi created a book called Kill Book of the Bounty Hunter. It's literally a giant book. It's in the other room. I would go grab it, but it's in the other room. But like the super soldier he's a bounty hunter, so he has a kill book, all of his targets, and you flip through and it's just a world book showing like where these people live, how they got these crazy bounties on their heads. And that blew my mind too, because it's like, oh well, I don't have to focus on like working for Marvel, DC, Image, Dynamite. I don't have to focus on working for these big publishers. Like you can also just create something yourself or work smaller scale and tell these more humanizing stories. Because it seems like it's a kill book, right? But on each page, you're learning about these people's lives and how it influenced the main character's journey to become this bounty hunter. So it kind of becomes this like Ouroboros, like this circular, just narrative through primarily art, right? There's no, it's like stitched together. If you Google it, you'll see what I'm saying. And then Ash Thorpe is this VFX artist he's been in film for decades now. He's worked on Ender's Game, Ghost in the Shell. If you look him up, his IMDb is very extensive. He does like a lot of UI. He did the latest Batmobile, right? The muscle car with Rob Pattinson. He's the designer behind that, right? This man is relentless in his design, but like he's also someone that like, and I have no shame in saying this. I'll never be at his level. One, because I don't have an interest of getting to that point regarding 3D and VFX or anything like that. But like, it's nice to have like a North Star in a way, like someone who's always pushing the needle and reminding me of what's possible. If I just pushed a little harder, pushed a little further. And it's also nice to be able to go to the movies and see the work that he also produces. That's also inspiring. But I would say those 2 people are constantly reminding me of like what I can do in my work and how I can even just processes and workflows, software to check out, things like that.
Okay. It's always funny when someone asked me how I got into comics. I said that was a world that I could get into that took me away from the real world. once I opened the pages of a comic, that was it. I was in that adventure. I was in that dialogue. You know, I wanted to see that villain get beat down. I wanted to see that hero stand tall. I know comics are not as cut and dry as that anymore, but the stories are still just as engaging. And we need more of that. And y'all are adding to an impressive cornucopia of creativity. I don't know why everybody and their mama's trying to reach out to me today, knowing good and well that I am going live here with some incredible people. In fact, hold on. I just got a message from Mimi. Hi, Mimi. What's going on? Okay. Everybody and their mom. Even now, Lloyd just hit me up. Oh, okay. Okay. I was going to invite Lloyd on here, but he's in the house of worship even as we speak, you know, bringing all the blessings to the homestead. So bravo. I as a lifelong comic fan, I'm always looking for stories that are written by us. I'm always looking for art that's created by us. So which one of y'all can tell me about the story of Into the Abyss? Because I'm like, we're gonna sit here and sugarcoat this because I want people to read this. I want people to come and support this story because I already read it. I love it. So I want y'all to talk about it because otherwise they'll be thinking that's all I'm doing is talking over y'all. I refuse to do that. So whoever wants to spearhead this particular request, by all means, go for it.
Brandon, do you want to take this one?
Yeah, sure. Basically,
Brandon, you may.
It's basically a detective. Yeah, it's basically a detective story that follows three different detectives. Our main character, Valerie Jekyll, our side characters, Greg Donaldson Jr., and our other character, Rachel Ramirez. All three of these work on a team that basically can solve pretty much anything they come across. And there's this particular person that they're chasing, and they go by the Autumn Strangler. So the story takes place in Atlanta, and it just follows all three of these people kind of going down a spiraling path to figure out who this killer is.
Man. Okay, as someone who is a fan of true crime and seeing the mystery unfold and seeing the investigative work and also the stress and the emotional strain that goes into the detectives themselves, I like seeing our folks do this because let's face it, when you put black folk in a detective story, there's a level of sass that's in there and a swag that cannot be done by anybody else. I'm sorry. If you tell me there is an anime detective series of black folks investigating a particular murder, serial killer, or maybe some other type of long-standing criminal, I'm watching it. I'm reading it. And when I got the copy of Into the Abyss, I was intrigued. I was very intrigued. Did y'all have any particular parts of this project that y'all really enjoyed?
Pardon me. Go ahead, Josh.
Well, Brandon drew the whole thing, so like every line you see
Show off
was drawn by Brandon.
Brandon's a show off.
I don't have I don't have a lot of experience working off of other people. Like I've taken like designs that someone has done and worked off their designs or pushed their design further, but I've never actually painted or used someone else's lines as the framework for whatever I was doing. And I don't do manga, you know what I mean? Like, it's not something that I really do. So it's crazy to tell a story that one like this, I think it takes place in like a pseudo Atlanta, right? So it's like set in the United States with a Japanese style by a artist who was inspired by Japanese works. Mm-hmm. So like it was just crazy just going over his work, right? Because you really get to know a character on a deeper level when you've been painting her glasses 100 times or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. And I think he did a great job with the consistency between panels, because every artist knows that that can be annoying, challenging, or tiring at times. And like the consistency of effort is crazy in here. But yeah, just going over his work, that was quite a different experience as far as the process.
I can't take all the credit though, because in this particular page, that church was actually created by Josh. I just did the line art over it. Yeah, for real. And like he said earlier, the details that he has, his attention to detail, all the coloring, though, even down to that purple kind of magenta pinkish color there. I'm not sure, but you can tell that he had a process to kind of give feels to different atmospheric feels to the page as it progresses to the end. And yeah, you know, some of the buildings in the backgrounds, for example, like he definitely, and some of the paintings on the walls, every scuff mark, like he said earlier, it's all Josh, you know. So
the depth and just the overall beauty of this is what captures me, especially because you capture angles really well, Brandon. You really do. And yes, Josh, you're gonna get your credit on this one because let me tell you, I love this. I think this is one page that really got me because it captured the emotion behind the main character. Her name is Valerie Jekyll, if I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Yep.
Okay. And if I'm reading this correctly, she has an alter ego.
You could say that.
Okay. That's, I don't want to give too much away, but this right here I really got into this because as someone who's a voice actor, or a voice actor in training, I should say, I read this with different voices in my head, and it's like, oh, I would love to read this on a Room Full of Blurs with Lady Mandalore, and I'm pretty sure she would probably be on board with it too, because the main protagonist is a Black woman, and this really goes into this suspenseful true crime noir, which I don't think there's enough of without it being so wordy. I think the biggest problem with doing crime noir nowadays is that it's too wordy, but you still have to give details of the case and the suspects and what's been. I think y'all balanced it out pretty well, all things considered. I think y'all balanced it really well. And yeah, the voice actor in me was just like, what the hell do you even call this? It's called peacocking. The spectacle represents our killer as one of a kind. He knows how to make a statement. Basically throwing a tantrum because he booked the wrong guy. Nietzsche, the philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche. If you gaze into the abyss gazes into you. Oh my God. Where are you going? I gotta go. I'm not feeling well. And I was like, okay, what's going on? Is she about to transform? Okay, I'm ready for this. Yes, that's what I do. That's how I enjoy a book. And I think a lot of people who read comics do the same thing. Here's another question for you guys. And I'm going to start with Brandon first on this one. What was the biggest challenge with this project?
I just want to say something. It would be such an honor if you guys read it, because I love your episodes where you guys just literally are going, like, you guys go ham. You guys don't hold back at all. And it's hilarious, honestly. If people aren't watching sorry, forgive me for the name of it. But yeah, it's an amazing series. Seriously. It's hilarious to watch.
Speak of the devil. Hey, let's go. Lady Mandalore, Room Full of Blurs. Hey, love, what's going on? She joined on the show and everything. It's so great. Go check us out. Yes, we are always down to play. Let's go. Okay, so
it's
Brandon,
it's a great show.
Your wish might be granted, sir. So bravo
awesome.
to you.
That'd be awesome. So the hardest part was really and truly the ratio of the page is not something that I'm used to. I had this problem with one of my first projects where you kind of create the size of your comic book page, and as you add more panels, it becomes more and more pixelated, and as it becomes more and more pixelated, it's harder to keep that quality that you want to do. Like if you look at some of the bigger pictures, you can see the quality is definitely there. If you have a page full of smaller panels, it's just my software could only do so much. So I basically, in the future, I want to figure out how to make a big enough page that when you do compress it down for a comic, it's, you know, everything is still there. Because that was my probably hardest issue, to be honest, because I take pride in my work and I want to make every picture as good as I can. And when I'm limited by the pixels, which limit how you can draw a nose, how you can draw the eyes, all that stuff, you know, it kind of, it's like a punch in the gut, but that's something you got to learn.
Okay. What about you, Josh?
To touch on both of you guys, I would also love to hear you guys voice act this out. That would be quite a treat. So I second that as well. I think the hardest part for me, which I think is the same for a lot of artists, is just getting started. Like the beginning of a project is typically the hardest part because you're not really in that groove yet, right? So like, I think the story is 11 pages, and I think the first, where am I at? 1, 2, 3, 4. I think by page 5, I was in a groove. And so then it's sped up like that. But the first 4 pages, it's like, I don't want to say that it's like a pain in the ass or anything, but it's just grueling, right? It's just like, what color is that again? Oh, I got to do this. Oh, wait. Okay. You know, you got all your stuff, all your tools, all your colors, all of your references and stuff. But then it's like, it's all not in sync yet. You're not in that, like, it's not just second nature. And then the rest of the page is just kind of just, you know, diarrheaed out, you know, like I don't really remember doing a whole lot of the rest. Because it just flowed out at that point. So I think just getting started was the hardest part. Like I said, because although like Brendan's work is amazing and it was a lot of fun, because it is so different, like I had to, which, you know, and for those that will see the comic, the first page is very different. No, it's not very different. It is different though in style regarding color than the rest of the comic, because I still hadn't figured out what I wanted to do with it yet. Because normally when I paint, I go as detailed as I possibly can. And I know that with this, I don't need to render out everything to the nth degree. And once I also didn't have the time. So I was still trying to figure that out. And then I realized, well, like time is of the essence. I don't have time to do so many. I should have, if I would have thought this through, I would have done tests while he was drawing so that by the time I would have asked for some of his work to paint over. So by the time he sent the drawings to me, I could have then known what I was going to do rather than trying to figure that out as I was going. Yeah. Okay.
I know that creativity does definitely have its challenges, especially depending on the genre, depending on what your particular platform is. As an artist, I do understand from my perspective that once you have an idea, now it's to put it down and to refine it to where it matches the image that you have been given or what you will say this will do. So to hear you describe it in that detail and Brandon give his, that is completely understood. I think every idea is probably the hard part because, okay, you thought of it. How are you going to conceptualize it? And I think you guys did a pretty good job. And I want to show something from what y'all gave me, because this really opened up my eyes a lot more to the processes involved. If y'all ever wonder what it goes into creating a particular page, this should give you a somewhat of an idea from idea to final product. And let me tell you, this was very educational because you have the script, you have the storyboard, and then you have the final product, which is the panel itself. But when you came up with this, were these the only, how many times did you storyboard this before you decided to pencil it? Because I'm really curious. I know this wasn't, oh yeah, that's perfect, we'll do it.
Well, I think with a lot of artists, I don't keep speaking generally, but I do think a lot of these are general things. Like I think like a lot of artists, like I saw this, you know what I mean? Like so for those that don't know, or can't read that, I storyboarded this panel. So like based on the script, I'm reading the script, I see the images in my mind.
There you go.
And
See
so,
that? You see that right there? Give them
you
in the
know,
credit. Look at that. You see that? All that. It's a JB collective.
thank you.
It's a JB collective. Let's go.
But yeah, like I saw that, we've all been in a dark hallway. We've all used a flashlight in the dark. And regarding like, a murder mystery with someone named the Autumn Strangler, it's like there should be a certain amount of like, like what the hell is this guy doing over here? You know what I mean? And so like, this is what I saw. And I don't know, Brad, you can take it from there.
Yeah, I gotta say that it's awesome to work with Josh because he works just as hard as me, if not harder. Like he helped put everything together into the PDF file, all that stuff. So it was honestly really easy to follow his work. Basically, I just had a nice pencil to go with, and then from there, I did my own blue lines because it's kind of hard to just draw it right out perfectly. And then the second layer was basically what you see there. And then I gave it back to him, and he did his coloring magic, and boom, there you go.
The back and forth. It's literally like, okay, I did. It's like two kids in class. Like, all right, I did this. What do you think? Okay, I'm gonna do this. Check it out. Oh, okay, but how about we change to this? Nah, let's change to that. Oh, where and went back and forth like that. That's what I'm picturing.
Yeah. And I did,
Yeah.
you can see that there is some changes in the line art from the sketch. And that's just because, we all see things slightly different. Like the way you hold a flashlight, I've always seen cops kind of hold it more like the picture on the left there.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so I just kind of, changed
Yeah.
things a little.
And we find out that he's not the custodian. I looked at him and went, wait, what? And that actually made me go back and read and went, okay, I see where you're going with this.
It's also worth noting that like between like storyboards to pencils to color or just the whole process, or I mean, even better from like words to images, right? Going from a script or outline or idea to images. It's like Stan Lee said in his book, How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way. He said, like if you're bringing a script to an artist, like, and they're adapting those words, like if the artist knows a better way to do it, then you should let them do it, right? Because you're essentially, so it's like if I know that Brandon's working off of my storyboards, it's like I trust him. Like I've seen his work, I know he knows how to draw. You know what I mean? If like we had a discussion like who's going to draw this, and it's like, well, I saw his work, and it's like I think that, and especially with the time that I had when we were having that discussion, I really didn't have the time to be able to do that. But I knew I had 100% faith that if he was the one to draw this, it would turn out just fine, if not, one of the best things I've seen from an independent creator. So with him saying that he changed it a little bit, it's like those things aren't only warranted, but they're welcomed. And then, as you were saying, yeah, we did. There were a lot of communication between the two of us because Brandon's also one of those people that's like, well, if he doesn't want to over impede on something that I did, he'll just reach out. Or if he made a change, he'll make sure that he points that out. And yeah, so that was a lot of our dialogue, is just going back and forth. Like in the colored panel, you can see that there's I think I edited the gun too a little bit. But like my point is that there was a lot of back and forth because I think like he was saying, there is trust between the two of us as far as our processes and understanding that, okay, if I hand this off to Brandon, I know that he's going to do a fantastic job and vice versa. And I think that goes a long way with creating something special. I'll say this and I'll shut up, but Scavenger's Reign by...
There's no shutting up here. It's not what we do. No, there's no shutting up.
I don't want to get this name wrong. By Joseph Bennett and I want to say Charles Hunter. Amazing show. It's on Netflix and HBO. But the co-creator said you can always tell when a department isn't speaking with other departments. And I think throughout this project, that's been one of my favorite aspects, is that if there is something that needs to be discussed, I can just send a DM and there's no like, I've worked with people that aren't as open or you get what I'm trying to say? Like people get in their feelings pretty quickly, especially when it comes to their work.
Yeah.
And that hasn't been my experience with Brandon or Chad or Ronnie or Josiah either. So it's like, it's been a blessing, honestly.
And I can tell that because, and I know what you were trying to say. Sometimes ego gets in the way of a
Yes.
project instead of just taking it from the perspective as a creator. Okay, we're trying to achieve this. I don't want your feelings involved as much. I want your passion, but I don't want your feelings. What do you think of this? Tell me if there's something we could change. Do you have a suggestion? This is what I suggest. I think it'd be conducive for this. A little bit more open dialogue and less into the egotistical side of it, which I've seen projects rise because they have great potential and they fall because the wrong human element goes into the project. And it seems like with everybody with this, everybody was talking to everybody and everyone touched base with everyone. And even getting opinions on certain things is so important. And y'all nailed that. Y'all nailed that because you created this. You created Into the Abyss. And I'm beyond excited about it. Y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all. Hold on. Where is my words? I need my words. Y'all need to go. If you're watching this, thank you for supporting these good folks, these amazing cats, because I know it's Sunday and everybody wants to be doing different things. But go to the Kickstarter. Kickstarter.com/project/Midnight Comics /The Midnight Showcase. Put in the hyphens. Don't screw this up. Okay, it's not that hard. Don't screw this up. These cats have been working really, really hard. All right, we're gonna have a little bit of fun because all this talk about work is, it gets a little boring, a little dull, and it's Sunday. Want to have a little fun with this. So, what is your? I'm gonna start with Josh because Josh, you got a little bit of wisdom in you there, sir. I want an anime hot take from you, sir.
Oh, you want to clarify?
Okay, what is one thing in anime that either drives you crazy, you stand behind regardless of what people say, or you believe with all your heart and no one can change your mind?
I don't know that I'm the right person to ask.
But you named off all those anime.
Why. Yeah, because I'm not. I don't watch. I don't watch a lot of anything. Just to get that out in the open, I don't watch a lot of anything.
Gotcha.
I try to create in a vacuum because I'm one of those people that if I watch Pacific Rim, the next day I'm drawing robots, right? So if I'm making something with robots, it will be a disservice to that project, that client, that collaborator if I watch Pacific Rim, because then I'm just, you know what I mean? I'm pirating in a way a little too much, and it's like there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. But like the whole point of being an artist is to come up with your own ideas, to live your life, see things, go to museums, travel the world, and take those experiences and put those into your art, right? Also reference images and things like that, not to take other entertainment and use that as your sole resource. So I don't watch a lot of anything. But if I had a hot take, okay, you brought up Studio Ghibli. Okay, I'm not a big Studio Ghibli fan. I always fall asleep. The music's too nice. It's just way too serene. I always fall asleep. I've never, outside of Princess Mononoke, I've never finished a Studio Ghibli film without falling asleep. Yeah.
Really? Okay.
God's honest truth.
For you young folks, Studio Ghibli is basically anime lo-fi. If you can get through it, you're amazing. Because don't feel bad. I do too. I watch Howl's Moving Castle. It's like, oh, this is great.
Yeah.
I wake up with the credits on. What did I miss? About 3/4 of the movie. Bruh, seriously? I'm sorry. Can we play it again? No. We'll watch Akira next. Oh, okay, cool. What about you, Brandon?
I'm kind of similar to Josh. I really am more of a creator than a consumer. But if I were to say, I remember in your last episode, you guys talked about Jujutsu Kaisen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a big fan. I think everybody in that show has mental illness, and it's just too much, too much clashing. I'll say that Vegeta's cooler than Goku, and I'll say Batman over Superman. That's what I'll say. Right now. And I'll stand on it.
First of all, that has me weak. Oh my gosh. Everyone has I'm not gonna lie, you got me thinking about it now. And Nay says, not anime lo-fi. Yes, it is anime lo-fi. I don't care what anybody says. Once you start watching it, it puts you into a cool mindset of, oh, this is great.
Yeah.
And that's it.
But if I could say one thing that, oh, my bad. If I could say one thing that's a kind of cringe about some animes, you know, like, don't get me wrong, I do like aspects of My Hero Academia. I do like aspects of Demon Slayer, but I'm not about the whole crybaby trope. You know, like it's hard for me as a grown up to get into someone that's always crying all the time. But yes, they do develop into stronger characters, but it just takes me out of the show.
Mhm.
So little things like that. Like I said, I like the more gritty stuff. It's just more fun for me to watch.
That's fair. That is very, very fair. I haven't had an anime hot take in a minute. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I got another one. I got another one.
Okay.
I don't know. I'll just say it. I'll let the chips land where they lie. I think maybe we should increase the age of a lot of these people in anime. Like, I haven't been in school in a long time. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, some of these arcs are like, you know, schoolboys and schoolgirls. And it's like, I want a character that is like closer to my age, you know? Like, I'm turning 30 in a few months. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, these kids are like fighting demons and gods and stuff. And it's like, how are you doing your homework and saving the world at the same time or destroying it? It doesn't make any sense. And then every high school in Japan has some type of entity or super something. It's just like, guys, like,
is there
on.
Is there one in particular maybe that you were thinking?
I'm a big Yu Yu Hakusho person. So I mean, that's kind of wild because like I can watch it and be like, oh, this is great. These people are my age, even though there is that school aspect, right? Like they're all of school age, but then it's like when you get reminded when they're actually attending classes that they'll go to school in the morning and then in the evening they're in another reality, fighting demons in a interdimensional tournament. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, I love it, but at the same time, it's like it does kind of like, come on. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like,
I do understand. I do understand, and it was always funny for me. Like my biggest anime hot take is the anime where the kids are always going on adventures, but you don't see the parents.
Yeah.
Where are your mama and daddy? Where are your parents? This is not really. I just, oh, good grief. Digimon. Okay, you got the Digidestin. Where are your Digi parents? Where's your Digi grandparents? Where's your Digi uncle? Do you have a Digi uncle? Where? What?
Yeah.
I bugged out off of that. Went, okay, while it is an entertaining anime and as a whole, you know, you being Digidestined, you got your Digimon and you're doing your Digi evolving and everything. Where are your parents? Oh my gosh. It kind of reminds me of, have y'all ever seen Battle Royale?
Is that live action?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
with the priest or something?
No, the concept of Battle Royale is this Neo Tokyo. So in the future, they can't control their young folks. So they create this reality show / program called Project Battle Royale. They find a random 9th grade class who goes on their annual class trip. They gas them, transport them to an island, to an abandoned school, and it becomes survival of the fittest. They get a bag with one weapon, a map, and a compass. They are fitted with these collars that if you go into a certain spot, you do something you ain't got no business, or anything like that, the collar explodes and you die. These are 9th graders. And I'm sitting there going, where are their parents? You mean to tell me nobody is protesting that your kid just got kidnapped to be part of a reality show? Are you kidding me?
Right.
Because the beginning
that's
of the
a big-
movie, she comes up, this little girl smiling. She's got this really psychotic smile on her face, covered in blood. She's a survivor of the game. She's like, going, oh yeah, she ain't having no kids. She ain't having no chillins. None.
Yeah.
Yeah, to your point, like it's kind of similar for I think like the Western audience, like Hunger Games.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like there's obviously some parallels there, and it's like I think I didn't read all the Hunger Games, I didn't watch all the Hunger Games. I think the main arc or something is rebellion.
Yeah,
like you can only do that for so long until they're like, you're not taking my kid.
Yeah, you ain't missing anything. The butler did it. That's how I feel about the movie. Okay, the butler did it.
Like, come on now.
I don't know. I know there are different genres, different tropes, and there are different fandoms for everything. But after a while, you want things to kind of make sense. And we're gonna go right back to Into the Abyss. The story makes sense because it is a thriller. It is a detective noir. It is exciting in its conception, and I would love to see this as an ongoing series. I really, really would. And you guys did a phenomenal job. I wish we had Josiah and Chad and Ronnie on here. Oh my gosh. Is it me? Is it because of me? It's what it is. It's me, isn't it? It's fine. It's fine. One day I would like to have y'all on after the Kickstarter is funded to talk about it. So it's like, congratulations. Let's get on with the making. Let's get on to getting.
And I would like to say something to that. So like, oh, go ahead, Brendan.
I was just gonna say that, yeah, Ronnie creates. He's the creator of the cover art. Just wanted to give him his flowers. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. Matter of fact, hold on. We're gonna make sure we do that. You know why? Because he deserves that. Hold on. Let me put that back up there. Because whenever we have someone who does something amazing, we're gonna share it. We're gonna bring up the screen. Y'all see that name right there? Y'all see the name right there? You see that? Ronnie Creates or Ronnie Creates. You know, you want to sound exotic. My name is Creates. Man, your name is Creates. What are you talking about, Creates? Somebody get him out of the room. So, but he did an amazing job on the cover, and I definitely give him his props on that one. But guys, this has been incredible. I know it wasn't a lot of time, but the thing is, having the chance to chat with y'all about this has been phenomenal. It's been fun. Hopefully, I made it fun for y'all and made it comfortable for y'all as well.
Yes, you did.
Yeah,
I have one last hot take if I may.
Say that. Yes,
It's about you. It's about you. I have a feeling that you are part vampire because there's no way you get proper sleep with a beard like that. You got to be sleeping right on your back. Like,
don't be putting my business out there, bro. Don't be putting my business out there. Look, I look ancient, but I ain't all that old.
no, not old, not old. It's just that beard routine. I couldn't because I'm sleeping. I'm always rolling. You know, I'd wake up and it would be everywhere, right? So.
I can't even comment on that. I don't even know what to say. Thank you? Question mark.
Yeah, I need to grow mine up. So
Rice water and black castor oil. This works because I couldn't grow this before, and I just stuck to a routine, and it got a life of its own, and now it gives me advice, which isn't always great advice, but it gives me advice. It does talk from time to time.
that's awesome.
But gentlemen, this has been an honor. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to remind you once again, if you want to support this along with the two other ventures, part of the Midnight Showcase, go to the Kickstarter. They're almost funded. They are almost there. They're right there. They're right there. Okay? Go support a worthwhile venture. Help support creators who are getting established, but trying to create something worthwhile, because it's all about legacy. It's all about history. We have another generation coming up that I want to see inspired by works like this. And I'm sure the creators, the writers and artists on these projects want the same thing. So please do not hesitate to go to the Kickstarter. And even if you cannot contribute, share it. Get the word out. Spread the word. Word spreading is much more valuable than money, because the more eyes that are on it, the more exposure, the more awareness. And you can see that there's talent affiliated with all of these projects, because I'm already a part of it. I'm already supporting it. I can't wait to get my copies, because I'm going to put it right here and go, hey, look what I got. Woo! Look at this. This is so wonderful. And then we're going to have it on a room full of Blerds, and then we're going to read on it, and then y'all going to be joining us, and it's going to be dope. And then y'all going to be smiling, and then Chad is going to be like, why wasn't I included? I'm going to say, because you should have showed up, Chad. Where were you? Should have been
One
here,
of the great
Chad.
writers.
Indeed.
One of the great writers on the team.
Indeed. And I've been on a conversation with him before. He's a brilliant young man. Brilliant. And definitely give my congratulations and appreciation to Chad, Josiah, and Ronnie. I wish they could be here, but y'all two are fantastic representations of this team. So big ups to you especially. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
I'm gonna put y'all backstage temporarily. Don't go anywhere, okay? Because I think Brandon will try to sneak off. Don't do it. Don't do it. Brandon be like, dang it. Okay.
I'm the wild man on the team, and Josh is the technician, so we balance each other out quite well.
Oh, really? I know you're like, wah! Josh goes, now, Brandon, this is not what you're supposed to do. Okay, come. Get off of the wall. I can't help it. It's comfortable. Get off of the wall, Brandon. Come on. Where's Chad? All right, I'm going to put y'all backstage temporarily. Be right back, okay? Y'all, now is the time to support a worthwhile venture. Midnight Comics is creating something phenomenal. They're doing this with the Midnight Showcase. So you've got 3 projects. You've got Chiroptera, you've got Into the Abyss, and you've got Latchkey, which all 3 of them sound amazing. They look beautiful. You can see the hard work that's been put into it. And you are supporting up-and-coming, established, and even experienced creators who just want to further themselves and to put something worthwhile out there. So go to their Kickstarter. I'm going to put it out there one more time. Kickstarter.com/project/Midnight Comics/The Midnight Showcase. Go support them, support Midnight Comics, support everyone who is a Blerd creator. Now, I want to say something really quick to everyone out here. I know times are hard. Everyone is dealing with something in some way, shape, or form. We're dealing with survival, drama, stress, trying to make ends meet, trying to do everything. But I implore upon you, do not give up. Do not give in. Lean on the people in your life that you can rely on and you can trust. If there's someone that you can talk to, fellas, this is Men's Mental Health Month. If you are hurting, if you are down, there is someone out there that can help you. To everyone, hang in there. There's light at the end of the tunnel. I believe that. We're all going through something, but y'all are some of the most beautiful, phenomenal, amazing, and incredible people out there, whether you are a creator or otherwise. Okay? Do not think for a second that you don't matter, because you do. In the giant tapestry of this, in our diaspora of Blerddom, you matter, you're worthwhile, you're acknowledged, and you're seen. Okay? Thank you so much for joining me, you guys. Please don't forget to support the Kickstarter. Please go support, believe it or not, Otaku Noir. Definitely go check out Blerd Station as we're a part of this. I'll be on a little later tonight on the Room Full of Blerds, as we're going to chop it up and do everything we always do. And don't forget to support Blerd's Eye View. We're Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 p.m., along with the other fantastic creators as well. I may stream later this evening. You never know. Depending. I don't know. We'll see how the Sunday goes. But as I like to tell everyone, as I make this a little smaller. So, in the meantime and in between time, as I tell all of you beautiful, sexy people to do, please can you do this for Midnight Comics, Midnight Showcase, Into the Abyss, Chiroptera, Latchkey, the creators, the artists, the writers, the brain trust, all of that, other creators, the people in your life, and yourselves, and even me. Stay nerdy, stay geeky, and please, 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 please stay sexy. I will see you beautiful people tonight Oh, room full of Blerds. Oh, hold on. We got an update. Hold on. We are $340 away from being funded. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Hey, we doing it. Hey, let's go. Okay. I don't dance very often. So if I'm off rhythm, I hate y'all. Don't laugh at me. Okay. I'm old. I'm allowed to be off rhythm. I'm allowed. I've had rhythm all my life. Anyway, thank you for that update, Lizzie. I appreciate that. Oh, wait. What did you say? Hold on. Chad is working on his mad science. Chad needed to be here. You disappointed me, Chad. It's fine. Don't worry. It's all right. It's all right. It's fine. Okay. Stay nerdy, stay geeky, stay sexy, you guys. I'll see y'all later. And thank you once again for supporting Midnight Comics, the Midnight Showcase, and the Blerdicorn Convos. Y'all take care. Bye now.